I was living in Ohio, and my father died. My mother and my father were both alcoholics. My father died in an incident where a boat overturned and he drowned in the Little Miami River in Ohio. That left us my mom, my grandma, my elder brother, and myself. My mother then started tending bar to take care of us. We lived in poverty. My mother also went through a succession of relationships. She married one guy who decided that we needed to move south, so we were kind of taken out of our culture and moved to Tallahassee, Florida. This fellow was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis a month or so after we got to Florida, and he bounced $3,000 worth of checks and took my mother's vehicle and left myself, my grandma, my brother, and I in a trailer out in the middle of the Apalachicola National Forest with absolutely nothing. This was about a week before Christmas. What happened was that kind people that lived near us heard what happened, and one family brought us venison, which is deer meat, and another family brought us a Christmas tree that they went out in the woods and cut down, and we sprang popcorn, and even though it was a terrible time for all of us and very scary, it's probably one of the most memorable Christmases. But it's the first time that I can specifically remember having nothing and people reaching out and providing. Well, the reason why I do the advocacy and the work that I do is that my mom finally got sober at 40, at the age of 40. By then I was 15. I ran away from home at the age of 13 and quit school in the 8th grade. So I spent a good bit of time, by choice, on the streets. And there were times where I looked at pictures of hamburgers on billboards and literally salivated. I was so hungry. And when my mom got sober and got rid of her abuser, my grandmother, my mom, I, and my brother all came back together as a family. And my mom decided to go get her GED. So I decided I would go with her. So we got our GEDs together. We went the first year of junior college. We were stuck together like two peas in a pod. We were both scared to death, didn't think we could do it, doubted ourselves. They called her Mama Gibbs. And we quickly became very aware as we began to be educated and we began to interact with so many different people what a need was. And at this point we were in Mississippi. And my mother opened up a nonprofit organization. She, of course, got her master's degree a lot quicker than I did because I wasn't nearly as motivated at my age as she was at hers. But she opened up a nonprofit organization that was open to anybody. We only took private donations. We didn't take any type of state or federal donations of food because my mom was she took it very personal that she had to ask people a whole lot of questions. And to her, if somebody came and said, "I'm hungry," then that was enough. She would pack a food box. So she began the organization, and then 10 years of running the organization, of course, and I was there with her all the way. After 10 years of running the nonprofit, she then decided to retire. She actually got sick, was diagnosed with cancer, and I took over the organization. The biggest thing, we got hit really hard by Hurricane Katrina. It was a terrible time. Everybody, no matter what their socioeconomic status was in the same boat. And when everyone is standing equally in the same line, the term "those people" go away. Because we're all people in the same situation. And we ended up, that's how I found out about Second Harvest, because Second Harvest sent a semi-trailer to my nonprofit. And we ran 15 different areas of distribution over a 10-county area, getting food out to everybody that we could get it to. And it was just, I was taught by my mom, who ended up getting her master's degree by the age of 46, and who was such an inspiration to me. That you do, she calls it positionality. Positionality, she taught it. And the premise of positionality is, if you are in a position to help another human being or living being, and you do not, then shame on you. And that if you're going to look down at somebody, it should be while you're holding your hand out to them to pick them up.